first off, just great night for us. Our great weekend here for Florida State. Family weekend. It was a wonderful crowd. Really proud of our players. The work that they put in throughout the bye week. Coming into the night, really been challenging them. Tried to really force some uncomfortable situations throughout the bye week. We got some good speed on speed work. Just trying to continue to develop that growth, that edge, just overall execution. And I thought our guys rose to the challenge. You felt them play once again. I thought we were fast, we were physical, had some explosive plays. An extraordinary night, offensively, being able to have great balance. Ran for close to 500 yards, which broke a school record, in what they were able to do. And just really with all the things that showed up, whether it was a lightning delay, obviously some challenges that presented themselves. Our guys just they didn't get shook by the circumstance. They just continued to focus on the next play, and I thought they did an outstanding job in their performance, and something that we needed to see. And I'm really proud of them for what they've been able to do. Coming off our first game, having a couple games against smaller schools, and with the bye week right in the middle, I don't think our guys have let up at all, and I think they've had a great focus on improvement, and it puts us in the right position as we go into ACC play here on a short week, leading into this week that's ahead. And so really pleased with our coaches, players, everybody involved in the program for the work they did, and just once again grateful for our fan base, and all the Marching Chiefs were outstanding again tonight, or today, as we you got a chance to play, and you just feel their presence, and it was a great crowd here this afternoon.
All right, we'll start with Ira on your right.
Obviously, I was very concerned when Tommy went off the field. Did you know right away it was going to be okay, or when did they let you know that and I guess he could have played if he had to?
Yeah, it was obviously anytime you have any player that goes down, he came off under his own power, but it's you don't like to see that with any individual. But we're able to get him checked out. We'll see where it progresses as we go into this week. But I was glad to see him back and moving around, and I think it's going to be something that's very manageable as we move forward.
Next will be Brendan on your left.
Going into the season, I know the offensive line, just new pieces, and you guys are trying to work them together to have 500 rushing yards or close to it. I imagine still a work in progress, but what have you seen so far from the group that seems to be working so well?
Yeah, it comes down to their work. They've really made a great investment into each other. I think we have great leaders in that group. The way that that they're taking coaching. I say that Coach Hand does a remarkable job pouring into those guys. He challenges them on a daily basis, and for all the experiences that they have previously, and whether it's here, whether it's newcomers that have joined the program, young guys that are growing and developing. It's a constant push, and these guys they embrace that on a daily basis, and you feel that the way that they're gelling together, the things that's allowing us to do in the run game, obviously with given time and protection. I'm pleased with that group, and I think it's a compliment to them, and just their overall work and belief in each other.
Go over to your right for Corey.
We all knew Micahi was fast, obviously, the whole country knew that on track, but that catch he made, he made two big catches, but that one, going up over guys, the hands. Jerry was in here saying he might have a chance to be one of the best receivers of all time. What is his ceiling, considering he's only been doing this for a few months?
I'm very, very pleased with his progress, and another young man that he every day. You feel his desire, his want to, the practice habits, the push. You could see the confidence just growing with every play that he gets. And yes, to have the 3-4 touchdowns already here this season. I mean, a lot of explosive plays, but like that's a that's a big play that you can look at and say, man, that's, yes, his speed got him behind, but man, the playmaking ability is what finished the catch. And to see him, and we had a couple of those in fall camp, and you're seeing a young man that's just growing and developing, but kind of right here before our eyes. But it's 100% because of his work, and I think Coach Harris is doing a great job with him. You can see that tonight Squirrel was out, and it was an open door of opportunity for Micahi to show that he was ready for even more. And I think that those the two vertical passes were big for him. But then also whenever he got the ball in his hand on the reverse, he did what he's been doing. So it was good to see that was big. But he got to break the rock tonight, and just a wonderful young man. Obviously a Tallahassee native. And one that I think he's got an incredible future in front of him as he continues to progress.
I'll go fourth row on your left.
Hey Coach, can you comment on the performance of some of the year 2 guys, Landon Thomas, Cam Davis, just that they've been in the system for a year now and how they've been adjusting?
Yeah, I think it's impressive to see those guys have some production that they've had, and both those guys got a chance to play last year. You got some reps under their belt, and you're seeing that continued growth. I think that there's we've got a good number of guys. Sam Singleton is another person that I know he's a little bit older, another year older, but kind of getting more and more action and opportunities, and really has done some great things. You see the growth in the defensive side of the ball with some of our defensive backs, linebackers, guys that have been within the program that are just continuing to push to emerge, and they're I think coaches are doing a great job. These guys are. They've worked really hard in the off season to grow physically, mentally, the amount of passion and desire to go maximize that potential is really pleasing to us as a staff and to me.
We'll go top back.
Hey Mike, at this year's adopted an everyone eats type of style rushing offense under Gus. How does splitting work between a bunch of ball carriers help to improve the run game overall?
Could you say the last part of it one more time?
How does splitting the work between multiple ball carriers help the offense overall?
Okay. Yeah, I think when you have talented backs, guys that all have different skill sets, but being able to showcase that versatility, different guys get opportunity, and whenever they as you see that continued success, and with the guys that had success, but it still comes down to the details, the overall execution, and I think Coach Johnson's doing a great job of being able to manage that group. Obviously, Gus has put them in a wonderful position to showcase their talents, but I think that helps the offense as a whole.
We'll go back to Ira.
In these 3 games, it's been different guys kind of taking starting roles offensively. Is that by design though, or is that just kind of how? Does it just speak to the depth?
Yeah, I think it speaks to the playmaking ability that our guys have, and there's even within all of those plays that you see, there's still other options depending on what a team does, and you've got to be ready when your moment is there, and these guys are making plays, they're playing fast. I think one of the great compliments is you see guys playing without the ball in their hands, whether it's a fast motion, the guy carrying out a fake just an extra step to get a little bit more leverage, or just the guys blocking up front, different skill positions blocking down the field to allow what would be a big run to be a touchdown. You never know when it's going to be, but you've got to rise to the occasion, and I think that as we say, this is an offense and a program that's built for playmakers. We got some great playmakers within it, and these guys are playing it's an unselfish brand of football, but they're also they know when that ball comes their way what they need to do with it, and they're getting the job done.
All right, we'll go a couple more. Taylor in the middle.
Hey Mike, we touched on last week the number of guys who've been able to see the field so far this season, but with that depth, with what you've been able to see from going in a conference play now, how confident are you that God forbid an injury does happen, that this team is going to have that next man up mentality, seeing what we've been able to see from your
Yeah, that's it's been I think our guys have handled their business to provide an open door of opportunities to play multiple players, and you know, the guys have done a good job. There's been, you know, some good, some things that you know, we see where we need to continue to improve, but you know, it definitely is nice going into conference play and the stretch that we have in front of us. I know the guys that might be new to the program or you know, guys that are trying to, you know, really forge their own role, that they have, you know, that they have some quality reps under their belt, and so I mean, I like where we are. Hopefully this next week we'll be able to get a couple guys back, you know, in a full capacity, and you know, to continue to push forward.
All right, we'll go back top left.
Hey coach, back to Cam Davis. We saw him exit the game late in the third. Is he injured? Do you have a comment on his condition?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, obviously he did leave the game with an injury, but we'll see kind of how that progresses, you know, throughout the course of the weekend and early part of next week.
All right, thank you, coach.
All right, thank you all.